Paralyzed alien Wolf King begged the human engineer to please build him a ship, but never thought what would happen next. The wrecked ruins of the old warship loomed like a fallen god's bones over the icy valley of Aylar Prime. Amid twisted hull plating and shattered engines, the once mighty Wolf King lay broken. His massive frame collapsed, legs useless beneath him, golden for dusted with frost and ash. A dozen loyal Wolfkin warriors had died dragging his shattered body here. Now they were all gone. He was alone, until a human came. The stranger arrived in an old terra skimmer, its engine whining in the cold. He stepped out, rubbing his gloved hands together, dark goggles hiding his eyes. He was wiry, unarmed, and unimpressive by Lauren standards. The Wolf King raised his muzzle weakly. "You a mechanic?" The human crouched beside him, not flinching as frost steamed from the wolf's breath. "Engineer. Name's Milo," the man said. "Was salvaging the warship. Thought it was empty. I am all that remains," the king rasped. "And I need you." Milo blinked. "You don't look like you'll be walking out of here any time soon." "I don't need legs. I need a ship, a fast one, sleek, built for a king who cannot move." The wolf's gold eyes locked onto him. "Can you do that, human?" Milo scratched his beard. "Maybe. Why should I?" The Wolf King coughed, blood flecking his tongue. "Because if you build it for me, I will make you the first friend of Aylar. If I live, if, Milo repeated. Then he looked up at the wrecked warship. "You got some parts worth salvaging. Might even be enough to piece together a frame." "I don't need weapons," the wolf murmured. "Just freedom." Milo looked at him a long moment, then nodded. "All right, Wolf King, let's build you a ship." Milo set up camp beside the ruins. Every day, he scavenged what he could. Every night, he returned to the Wolf King, bringing wires, plating, and sometimes hot broth that he spooned into the paralyzed monarch's mouth. The two spoke little at first, but days turned to weeks. Milo learned the king's name, Kareth, and Kareth learned about Milo's past, that he'd been a former Starship engineer, disgraced after Consortium blamed him for a reactor incident that killed a diplomat. He'd lost everything. His rank, his station, his wife. Now he wandered the edges of known space, fixing broken things because no one trusted him to build again. "No one but me," Kareth said softly one night. Milo chuckled. "You must be desperate." "I am dying," Kareth said, "but I refuse to die here." The ship came together slowly, an angular frame built around a reclining cradle lined with sensor gel and control relays. Milo designed it for Thought Command, neural links that would let Kareth fly with his mind, since his body was ruined. But what truly made the ship special was something deeper. Milo added stabilizers that didn't belong on a ship that small. Heat sinks lifted from a destroyer-class engine. And at the heart of it all, a rare crystalline core. Illegal tech once used to power experimental stealth cruisers. Where did Milo find that? He didn't say. But Kareth noticed the lines under Milo's eyes deepening, the way he moved slower each day, and the quiet wince when he climbed the scaffolding. "You're not well," Kareth murmured one night, as the wind howled through the wreckage. "Nope," Milo admitted, lying on a cargo blanket, staring at the stars. "Radiation got me after the reactor leak. Docs gave me 2 years. That was 3 years ago." Kareth said nothing for a long while. "You could have left me," the wolf said at last. "Yeah. Why didn't you?" Milo looked at him. "Because you looked like you still had something left to fight for, and I wanted to remember what that felt like." By the 40th day, the ship was done. It was beautiful in its own way. Smooth, dark silver plating with sharp edges like feathers. Milo called it Whisper Fawn. Inside, Kareth would be cocooned in controlled gel, his thoughts directly linked to the ship's systems. It was a throne for a paralyzed king. But on the morning of launch, Kara said something strange. I cannot go alone. Milo arched a brow. You'll have full AI co-pilot. You'll be safer than I ever was. I need you, Milo. Kareth growled. Wolf, I built this for you. My body's falling apart. I wouldn't last a week in hyperspace. Kareth's golden eyes gleamed. There's something I didn't tell you. The ship, it was meant to carry 2 minds. One to guide, one to guard. What? The throne chamber links both minds. Symbiotic, shared awareness. You're part of this. Milo stared at the ship, suddenly realizing why Kareth insisted on some design choices that made no engineering sense. Why he always asked Milo's opinion on core harmonics. You planned this. I hoped. The wolf's voice trembled. You gave me wings. I would give you life. I don't want life in a machine. You don't have life now. You have time, leaking out in pain and silence. Kareth's head lowered. But if you link with me, your mind will live in me. Fly with me. We will never be alone again. Milo hesitated, and then smiled. Damn you, King. You always did know how to ask for favors. The bonding process was not painless. Milo lay beside Kareth in the throne cradle, gel rising around them both. Neural threads burrowed into spine and skull. For a moment, there was only darkness. Then, fire, wind, memory. Milo saw Kareth's youth, how he led the warpack through 10 battles, lost his mate to orbit fire, and held a mountain pass alone against the slavers of Barrack. And Kareth saw Milo's childhood, barefoot in fusion-lit alleys, building model ships from trash, dreaming of stars. Their thoughts became braided, not identical, not erased, but shared. 2 souls, 1 ship. When the engines roared to life, the mountain shook, and the whisper fong rose. From orbit, Aylar Prime looked like a cold marble streaked with cloud. Kareth, half asleep in the gel cradle, breathed deeply. Milo's voice echoed beside him, not in air, but mind. You sure about this, partner? Yes, Kareth replied. There are still wars to end, still pacts to unite. And what about revenge? If it finds us, we face it together. They launched into hyperspace, but not as a dying man and a crippled king. They were something new, something no fleet had ever seen. And when word spread, it was not a ship or a weapon, but of a legend, the human who built a throne for a paralyzed wolf and chose to share it.